Stop analysis paralysis in its tracks to supersize you. Welcome to day 147 of our Supersize You annual challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. If this is the first time you're seeing me and you would like more of the challenge, just put challenge in the comments below and I will hook you up with the link to get all of the days of the year so far. Day 147, so missed a little bit, but not really, because you can start anywhere in the process. It's all about doing one thing every single day. It can be a little thing. Sometimes I think I ask you to do a little thing and people are like, oh my God, that was the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. Other times I ask you to do a little thing or something that I think is a big thing or was a big thing for me. And you're like, oh my God, that was too simple. It was too easy. But look at the results and the impact I'm getting from this one little thing every day. So today we're talking about analysis paralysis. Ever have that? I will admit I'm not a totally reformed, but I'm a reforming, almost reformed, analyzed to deather. And what happens is some of us have a propensity for looking up and doing research and learning and thinking we have to gather all of this information before we take action. And lucky for me, back in the late 1970s, early 80s, I don't even remember. I think it might have been 1980. I was in the hospital and I heard a Tony Robbins late night infomercial because I couldn't sleep. Who can sleep in the hospital? If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. They wake you up every hour to check your vitals and your temperature. And I'm like, okay, aren't I supposed to be recovering? Isn't sleep supposed to help you recover? This is not working. But I did get to watch Princess Di's wedding to Prince Charles back then. And so that would probably be the year. If I wanted to look it up, I could. And late night infomercials with Tony Robbins. And I'd already heard of him, but it really got me into, I actually bought his, the big, back when they had cassette tapes, the cassette tape program. And that was probably the real beginning of personal development for me. I was between my second and third year of college. And it was very, very exciting to learn that we had a lot more control over our lives than we ever thought or believed or were led to believe that we did, right? I was still in the mode of do what everybody tells you should do. And part of that was whenever I had to make a decision or a choice or do a paper for school, I wouldn't just get 3 or 5 sources, how many ever the assignment called for. I'd have to get 12 or 20. I always had to overdo it and overanalyze everything. And I learned that pretty early on with some bad experiences, that sometimes we analyze things to the point of not making a decision and the opportunity passes us by because we took too long to decide and say yes to something. Other things, I found later on in life that it's easy to say no to the things that aren't for us, meaning if it doesn't match or align with my core values and who I really am as a human and how I want to show up in the world, it's an automatic no. And I don't spend hardly any time making those decisions anymore. You have a couple of experiences in your lifetime and it goes wrong and you're like, okay, well, why did that happen? And you realize, oh, it's because I waited too long or I picked the wrong partner, whatever it happens to be. But we learn from those lessons and hopefully don't make those mistakes again in our future. So today we are going to realize that thinking about something without doing it keeps us in the exact same place we are right now. So if we don't like the results we're getting, what do we have to do? We have to do something differently. And I found after working with tens of thousands of people, one of the main things that can help us really change and get a handle on creating the life we want is becoming a better, faster decision maker. So I don't remember where I first learned this, but it's called the 70% rule. What we do is we gather 70% of the information, and at that point, we make a decision. Either it's a yes or a no. We're either going to go for it or we're not. And when I go for something, I go all in. However, I have noticed I'm going for a project right now. I'm in a challenge, and I'm on the edge of jumping out of my comfort zone and going all in, but I'm not all in yet. And I know it and I can feel it. And so I'm absorbing all the material I can in that coaching program to get me on board and get me to realize that if hundreds of other people are doing the thing that I want, it is absolutely positively 100% possible and absolutely guaranteed for me to get the results I want too. So today, let's think about some things. Overthinking kills momentum. It kills everything. If you don't take action on opportunities, they don't pass you by because it obviously wasn't the right opportunity for you right now. That's how I look at missed opportunities now. back in corporate America, we used to overthink that. Oh, what's the lost opportunity cost? Really talk about an exercise in ridiculousness and a waste of time and energy. Instead of calculating the cost of what you didn't say yes to, how about you just find the next thing and then go all in on that? I could tell corporate stories all day long. I could tell business stories all day long. So we want to use the 70% rule. And I have found that, number one, I personally have more opportunities coming my way than I did before, because I used to say, oh, this isn't for me right now. It's not matching my priorities. I'll look at it later. And so I get this huge stack of things I needed to look at later. And the truth is, 90% of the time, I never got to my I'll look at it later stack. It's like when we save emails in our inbox. Oh, I want to read that later. I want to read that later. Guess what? I ended up, because I'm legally blind, with like 85,000 messages in my inbox. Now, I go through every once in a while. I try to knock some out and read them. But really, I should just select and mass delete all of them, because all of the things that are important in my life will come around again. That's my decided view of how things work. Our bias toward action, I contend, and the reason I mentioned the whole Tony Robbins thing is that is what got me to take massive action. It got me, I always was an action taker, but it really brought it home to me how important it is to be an action-oriented person. The faster we make a decision and take action, the more of an advantage we have in anything in our life, with respect to relationships, with respect to personal development and growth, with respect to our career, with respect to being involved in the causes that we care about. It's when we say, the sooner we say yes and take action on something, we actually find out if the thing is for us or not. Because sometimes we don't know with 100% certainty. Okay, I don't know about you, but I don't think I've hardly ever known with 100% certainty about anything that's happened in my life, except that I wanted to have 2 kids and that I have amazing children. I'm 100% certain of that. So what am I going to challenge you to do today? I want you to find one decision that you've been overthinking and putting off. I guarantee you we've all got at least one. I know my one is going all in on this coaching program. And within 24 hours, set a 24-hour deadline. You have to make a decision either to go all in, because if we do anything half-assed or half-hearted, guess what we get? Half-assed or half-hearted results. But if we go all in, so I want you to pick a decision or something. We only overthink the things that we really care the most about. That's why I say the 24-hour timer, something you're overthinking, decide to either go all in or let it go. And guess what? If you let it go because it's not right for you right now, that is 100% the right thing to do. Tap into your head, tap into your heart, tap into your gut, your intuition. When I need to make a decision fast, that's exactly what I do. I'm like, well, what do I think about this? What do I feel about this? And what is my gut instinct about it, right? And then I just decide. And no decision. There are very few decisions that we make in our life that are absolutely irreparable or unchangeable. I'm not going to go into those. It's different for each and every one of us. Me, not living in alignment with my goals and values and core values especially is an absolute no for me nowadays. And it wasn't always that way. Depending on what was going on with the situation, I didn't always think for myself, oh my God, really? I mean, I've always been a pretty strong-willed, independent person, but you know what? We get in situations where we're going with the flow, and everything that's happening isn't necessarily for our best interests and in our best interests. And so sometimes we have to say, okay, yep, here I am. I went down this road. It was obviously the wrong road for me. How long am I going to stay here? I'm going to stay here indefinitely because I made a decision 25 years ago and a choice 25 years ago that is absolutely positively not the right choice for me. And everything is in my face showing me this. Might have some personal experience with this one. All right. So share in the comments below. If you want, share the decision that you are going to make in 24 hours. And if you want an accountability person, ask for that. If you want me to get back to you within at your 24-hour mark, let me know, because I will be glad to do that. That's how important this is. That's how important making decisions is, because nothing happens until we make a decision. And once we make that decision, we'll take action. But until we make that decision, we have all these reasons and all these excuses why we can't act and why we're just waiting and waiting and waiting until we're on our deathbed and we're like, what was I waiting for? The answer is nothing. Or to get out of our comfort zone, get over that little bit of fear of change and doing something different and growing and learning something new. All right, if I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, go out, make it an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.